and welcome back to another episode of Sai's Eyes. Hope you're doing well. The last few episodes we've been taking a look at my SaiOS, the life operating system that I now for the last few months have operated under with the help of Notion, which is an all-in-one workspace for project management, habit tracking, calendar, notes, everything. So I've been using that to keep track of my life, basically. And so the last couple episodes, we've been taking a look at my alignment zone, which is where I align my low-level actions, my day-to-day tasks and action items, to the high-level purpose of my life, to the mission, to the values that I live my life with. Those unconditional values that I have, that I hope I have and will hope to continue to have. And so we've taken a look at those life purpose, mission, values, as well as some other aspects of my alignment zone and the aspirations level of the pyramid, of the alignment pyramid. So now I want to continue taking a look at this aspirations level of this alignment pyramid in my operating system by taking a look at the different timeline portions or time periods. And so this is how I can, in addition to the kind of project level, view of bottom up, from actions to affirmations to aspirations, there's the timeline, the time period bottom up approach as well, in terms of daily to weekly to monthly to quarterly to yearly. And so for my daily, so I have everything that I do, I have a set list of, a database for my daily tracking database, which has several things in it, which I'll go into right now. So it has, the date, what day it is of the week. It has check boxes for my daily habit tracking. So that'll include things like the mirror affirmation that I say to myself in the mirror. I want to set the intention for the day. I want to visualize my day going perfectly. So I'll try to do that. If I have any dreams and I remember them, I'll try to write those down. I want to do Wim Hof as well on a regular basis. So I'll keep track of that. A cold shower. Right now I do it for 2 minutes when I do it. So I keep track of that, as well as Tai Chi, whether that's in the morning or in the evening. I try to list these out in sequential order of the day. So it's just going down the list and checking these boxes off as I go throughout my day. And then Shambhavi, which is a 21-minute meditation preceded by some preparatory asanas, some little yoga poses to help loosen up the spine, loosen up the body, to align yourself physically and mentally and spiritually. So I try to do that in the morning, after which I'll go into drinking celery juice, which I've been doing pretty consistently for past 8-9 months now, since about last summer. Then on my way to work, if I'm driving, I'll try to listen to a Kubera mantra, which is supposed to help. Intention is to help with wealth and resources and fulfilling any desires that need money. doing that intentionally and with the right intentions. And then below that, I'll have visualization meditation, which I normally do in the evening. So these are all check boxes. And then finishing out, I'll have the list journal that I have, a free-form journal that I have. I have a checkbox for scheduling tomorrow. So making sure that I'm prepared going into tomorrow. What are all the action items that I need to complete tomorrow? What are the priorities of those action items? How long do I think they'll take? All that information. Then I have basic things that I will probably do multiple times a week, but perhaps not every day. A couple of things like working out, calling home to speak to family, and then 3 new vocab words to improve my vocabulary, my English. And so these are all the check boxes. These are all my daily or multiple times a week habits that I want to keep track of, which will pop up again in the weekly portion of this time period roll up, if you will. And then continuing on in this daily tracking page, this template that I reuse on a daily basis, is many items that I have written in my list journal. Things like gratitude, the 3 best things and 3 worst things that happen throughout the day, any improvements. And speaking of improvements, I actually made a change to this. I'm always constantly iterating to my practices, and I actually just yesterday and today I've adjusted this template that I use for daily tracking, and I added ideas to this. Any ideas that I have, I want to keep track of in this daily tracking and make sure that those pop up at the right time and not just by chance. Then I also added a learning place, a learning field here where it's all written out. Something I want to learn about myself, something I want to learn about other people, and something I want to learn about the world. Whether it's a fact, whether it's a way of approaching life, something that I've consumed content on, any number of topics. And then I want to ask myself at the end of the day, why did today happen? What was the purpose of today? If there's a singular purpose for every day that I can find, then every day will have been worth living. And then I'll have a few metrics, 3 or 4 metrics. One is sleep. How many hours did I sleep the previous night? What is my diet score? So, from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst throughout that day. Output, which is, how much did I plan to get done, or how much did I get done compared to what I hoped to get done and wanted to get done. So my productivity, my output, work and personal, I combine here as my definition of this. And then my daily overall score, which is a combination of many things. So it's not a technical score in terms of the average of anything or whatnot, but it's how I feel the day went and capturing anything that may not be captured already here. So I have a daily overall score there. And then finishing this daily tracking page out, I have 3 areas of focus for my 6-time book that I have in my list journal, which is focusing on time and energy, how I'm investing my time and energy on a daily basis, and checking in 3 to 4 times throughout the day, writing anything positive and negative, filling out both of those if possible, with a specific focus. For this week, I want to be intentional about what my eating practices are for this time and energy focus. Am I saying thanks when I am eating food? Am I consuming content while I'm eating it? And if I am, is it positive or negative content? Because that energy will be soaked in as I'm eating. Am I sitting, or maybe not at work, but am I sitting, with my legs folded and giving respect to the food? All that type of stuff for different eating practices. And of course, is the food actually healthy? Then the other 6-time practice of compassion. I've had empathy here before for the last couple of months. This quarter I've changed it to compassion. Because I read in a book in Childhood Matters by Sudha Gudva a couple of months ago that compassion is empathy in action. So if I can focus on different things, like what the body, for this week, for example, am focusing on what the body posture, the body shape of people that I interact with is, so that maybe I can pick up on something in their body language that they may not be saying explicitly or showing, but I can pick up on their body posture, body shape. And then the other 6-time habit and focus area that I'm focusing on is effective communication. Sometimes it'll be my body language. Sometimes it'll be, am I pausing before I'm thinking? What is the flow of my speech? Things like that. And so for all of these 3 sections of time and energy investment, compassion, and effective communication, 4 times throughout the day, I'm writing a positive thing and a negative thing associated with that area of focus, so that I'm intentional, so that I'm thinking 3 to 4 times throughout the day of each of these things intentionally, so that at the end of the day I can review, see how I've improved, and the next morning when I'm setting the intentions for the day, I can picture in my mind any negative things that happened, something that I've written down for the minuses, picture that situation, and then next time it happens, picture it me doing the right thing, or me having improved upon how I respond in that situation. So, and then below that is just one field for a review cycle field, I guess, just to document if I did my review cycle, if I had a weekly review, monthly review, or quarterly review that day. So just to keep track of it. Nothing too special. So most days won't have anything, unless of course it's the beginning or end of the week or month or quarter. And then since this is an actual page, in addition to the fields at the bottom, I have a template that I write out my journal entries, daily journal entries in. So this is from the freeform journal. So you may have heard that the freeform journal, I have a checkbox. That's just saying that if I did it or not. But what's the actual content? What did I actually write? I'll type that out in this daily tracking template with the title, and then obviously the entry that I've written out. And then of course for my blog, I'll take a picture and copy and paste this entry into the blog. And then yesterday, actually, I updated this template to include some information about the actual blog content, so I can track and check off that I've edited / published this blog online. So that was every little detail of my daily tracking template. I was actually planning to do this and the weekly in one episode, but I think it's good that I'm able to go very granular, every field by field, explain what it is, so that you understand how I'm approaching every day, how I'm thinking about every day intentionally, or at least trying to, and improving upon the process, adding fields as necessary as I add them into my daily habits and practices. So this was a look at my daily tracking template and within my daily tracking database. So the next episode I'll be taking a look at, after the daily level is the weekly level. So as the series goes on of the SaiOS series, I'll be continuing to take a look at these different reviews, these different time periods, and then continuing on to different levels and different sections of my alignment zone, and ultimately the SaiOS operating system. If you're interested in learning more about what I'm doing, take a listen to the previous episodes of this podcast, as well as reading my blog where I have some of my deepest thoughts and ideas, and watch my quick vlog and consume other content on my website. So, appreciate you listening to another episode of Sai's Eyes. I'll see you when I see you.